Hello again. Thank you so much for joining me on Tracy Starchild. Today I would like to speak to you about teachers. Teachers come in many forms, sizes, shapes, colors, situations, human beings, animals. Teachers are our greatest gift in this life. And life, to me, I believe, I don't know why, but it's a school that we're here to learn lessons from for our expansion and our growth, to continually evolve into a better person. And by better, I mean the person that we're meant to be. It's really all about, I understand, to be coming as authentically us as possible. So teachers are all around us. Everyone you meet is an opportunity for another teaching. Every situation you find yourself is an opportunity for another teaching. For example, today I had a plan to film outside. I had everything all ready to go, batteries charged for my light. I've asked my landlord to not have the pump running for the pool during the day so I can film. I had everything set. All of a sudden I come out, my pool pump is on. They came and turned it on for some reason. My light wouldn't work. I had to end up moving inside to my altar here to film instead, where I could plug the light in. What was the teacher? Well, as I was sitting there frustrated outside trying to get everything working, I looked up in the tree and I saw a snail. And for me, snail is one of my totem animals. And that's always a moment to understand, okay, slow down. Just go with the flow. I got really in tune with animal spirit and animal totems back in November during my training with Malika Darville here in Bali. We did a beautiful meditation, and it really opened up something in me because I've always been very closely connected with animals. And I really started going down that path of discovering what animal, insects, birds, what they're trying to teach me as they come to my life. So I started by, every time I would see something, it's not like, oh, saw a dog, what does that mean? There's generally a certain feeling that comes with it, like, oh, there's a dog. Like there's a knowingness. And so I would look up, what does this mean? And continually, whether it was a beetle or a lizard or a frog. And it was always really in line with what was going on with me at that moment or what I needed to pay attention to. So messengers and teachers often come into our lives when we need to look at something more closely. And it's all around us. We continually have messages coming to us. Teachers come in the form of our relationships with friends, family, lovers. And they can be often our greatest, most painful teachers. But I invite you to look at your relationships, anyone that stands out in mind right now, and find whatever is annoying you about that person or that situation. And instead of looking at it like I'm pissed off, they did such and such and it made me mad, look at it in a way where it's like, what is this trying to show me? Do I actually have that quality that that person is doing that's annoying me? Is it some sort of shadow work? A lot of times it is. Our greatest teachers often are the things that come into our life that upset us, annoy us, disappoint us. It's always an opportunity to turn it around for, what is this trying to teach me? Knowing that life is happening for you, not to you. It's here to show you something. And this is the greatest time on earth to be looking inwards and not pointing the finger at everyone and everything else. So much of the world is out of our control right now. But what is in our control is how we react, how we perceive, how we adjust, how we go with the flow. Like I wanted to film outside. Nope, didn't work out. Okay, I'm inside at my altar now. I feel quite comfortable here. Teachers, We're our greatest teacher when we truly look at our own behaviors, when we really feel into accountability for our own actions, for our own selves, and how we carry ourselves in the world, how we communicate with others. And a big one is how we react, how we handle our emotions. So yeah, sure, I was getting pissed off that things weren't working the way I wanted. But I took a step back, took a breath, and I asked, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Then I saw the snail when I looked up. And I remembered, okay, this means just take it slow. You know, everything isn't always in your control, but you can make it the best that you can. I find that looking at life through the lens of what is this trying to show me, how is this trying to help me grow, is really a way to get through this lifetime with more ease and more grace and more compassion and understanding, when we don't take everything so personally and know that someone's behavior is due to what they're going through. And if we don't internalize what they're doing and we just look at it as, what is this showing me? How can I grow from this? I feel that we can all be much happier people with far less anxiety and depression when we really just look at, what is this trying to show me? How do I evolve from this? And as I mentioned, I really am much more in tune with nature and animal spirits than I used to be. I like to use a lot of tools like oracle cards. That's something that I like. This is a great teacher for me. My instruments, I have my Isis drum, my other little drum here. When we tune in, it allows us the opportunity to get in touch with ourselves. Right now is such a massive time of shifting on our planet. There's a lot of astrological goings-ons. It's a big eclipse season. We have 3 eclipses instead of 2. Generally, there's sets of 2 and 2 every 6 months. But this year we have 3 and 3. And on July 4th or 5th, depending where you are in the world, we're going to have the final of this trio. And it's going to bring about a lot of change. And I'm not an astrology expert, but it is something I'm really tuned into. And eclipses are a major time of looking at ourselves and looking at our life not in sorrow, but in reflection of, okay, what did I learn from this? What did I learn from this? Where am I now? Where am I going with this? And so I really invite you to think back to last December, when we had our last grouping of eclipses, and discover what might have been going on in your life at that time. Because usually what we don't wrap up or resolve in that grouping, it comes back in the next grouping 6 months later. So if there's anything that's exploding in your life right now, have a look at what was going on in December, and is it taking place in some other form, shape, or matter right now? Teacher. Teacher, teacher, teacher. Everything's a teacher. You know, whether it be astrology, you know, going to YouTube to hear someone else's experiences, getting in tune with nature, getting in tune with ourselves. We can be our greatest teachers if we just listen. Taking breaths, deep breaths to calm ourselves. It's a lot of ups and downs right now. A lot of us are more disconnected from our friends and family than ever. And it's important that we don't take that personally. Of course, yes, the way the world is set at the moment, there's distancing, things are closed. But I really hope that you understand, it seems that everyone's on their own internal journey right now. And if you're not hearing from your friends or your family or whoever quite as much right now, just know that they're going through something too, just like you are, just like I am, just like all of us are. And it's okay to be not so in touch, not so social right now. So we can look within and find what it is that we're learning and what we're meant to be learning. Another teacher is physical pain. Physical pain is like the final alarm in our bodies to show us this is something you need to look at. For me, lately, my back has been tight. I'm like, oh, why is my back tight? Okay, well, my back is tight because I'm not moving a lot right now. I'm not dancing as much. I've had ups and downs, and there's some days where I don't really feel like doing a whole lot. And I've just been laying around watching, Gaia TV and just really getting in a space of expanding my consciousness, learning, really tuning in. But then that's affecting me in my back. My back is tight. And I'm like, okay, I'm a movement medicine woman. Why aren't I moving? And that's a message. I did a mushroom journey last week, and I got a huge message about movement. How it's so important for me and for all of us to move energy, because emotion can get trapped in our body and become stagnant. And when we move, we can move it out. And when I find I'm in a place where I'm not moving a lot, it's because I'm not feeling very well here and I'm wanting to lay down and be silent and still and feel safe, or I'm just tired because so much emotions are making me physically exhausted. So the backache is really a teacher, like, hey, wake up. Even though you're not feeling great, you still have to move your body or you're going to be hurting physically. And the message I got during my mushroom journey was to find the beauty in my stillness and the movement in my stillness and the stillness in my movement. And I know that might not make sense, but on a deep level, it made a lot of sense to me. Whereas, yes, sometimes I might want to just rest, and we all need that. It's very important. Still find moments of movement to move what's going on within us out, to keep our body lubricated and moving and flexible and happy. It's so important to honor our bodies. And so even in our stillness where we need rest, find other ways to keep channeling that emotion out. Little fly. Usually I would think, what is that trying to teach me? And I feel like it was really a message like, don't get distracted, stay focused. And I didn't pass that test, but I was aware. So anyways, I'm feeling called to maybe pick a card from my animal deck, since that's what we're speaking of. Love to pick a card. There's a collective message for anyone who's watching this. And one fell, that's called a jumper. And it's wombat spirit, be at home. I've been getting this card a lot lately, and I feel it's really fitting to share. Many of us, we're all connected. We're going through similar things. So wombat spirit, be at home. Burrowing deep into the ground, remaining safe, sound, and well-fed with family is a special trait of the wombat. Home sweet home is always available if you recognize that well-being is the truth of life. Wombat spirit reminds you to be truly at home in the world. You need to find comfort within your own skin. You do this by accepting all your experience without judgment through a deep honesty and love of life. When you feel the freedom to be yourself, you can begin to truly feel at home in your own life, with your family and with your tribe. Right now, you're in a beautiful place, where you can hang up the coat of your identity and settle into a true sense of home and well-being, understanding that is all is well. Everything you do from this place rings true in the harmony with Spirit. I hope that message helped one of you understand that right now is a time to really just be okay with ourselves. We have a lot to learn. There's a lot of growth. And just be at home with yourself. Ask for help from your higher self, from Spirit, from God, the universe, whatever it is that you might believe in. And I wish you well. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. See you next time.